Wine Glass LMFT. Welcome to my channel. We're out here in Ladera Ranch, California. Last video I was hearing my breath a little bit strong last time, so I'll try to not sound like I'm a werewolf of something. But today we're going to talk a little bit about forgiveness. But first off, thank you guys so much for the subscribe, support, and I'm at like almost 200 within a week, so I really appreciate it. God bless you guys, and I really appreciate your support for this channel. Fairly new channel. Nice little park out here. So let me hold this. Man, holding these little tripods take a little bit of some strength, huh? Guys, thank you so much for the love. So today we're going to talk about forgiveness. I had a request from one of my viewers on forgiveness. So, contrary to popular belief, forgiveness is not forgetting or pretending, the hurt didn't happen. Excusing or justifying someone else's behavior. Even though, reconciling can be difficult, it's really important to free yourself of that resentment and that hurt when it's time. Forgiveness doesn't depend on the other person's apology or acknowledgement. It's a gift you give yourself to move forward with peace. Think of forgiveness as cutting the emotional cord that ties you to the pain of the past. Out here in Ladera Ranch, everybody's outside. So, why forgiveness starts with yourself? Well, forgiveness often starts with forgiving yourself, because holding on to self-blame and guilt prevents true healing. You might blame yourself for allowing whatever the hurt was to happen. You might hold on to regret or how you reacted to certain pain points, and this is really common in my practice, where I have a lot of people who have a difficulty with forgiving others and forgiving themselves. So first, it's acknowledging your feelings and admitting how the situation made you feel, taking responsibility, accept your part in the incident, but also acknowledge the factors that were beyond your control. Practicing self-compassion, treating yourself as you would a close friend going through the same situation. Releasing judgment, understanding that, hey, you made a mistake, or you made choices based on the limited information that you knew at that time. You see the background? Forgiveness of others becomes more attainable when you practice forgiveness within. Self-forgiveness is the foundation for mental and emotional freedom. It's hard for people to really explore personal development and men to empower themselves, but they don't forgive themselves. It focuses from self-punishment to self-acceptance. My wife says she gets dizzy when I'm always walking around and talking. So the opposite of forgiveness is resentment. And this manifests as bitterness. You see this a lot. That lingering negative feeling that taints your perspective, a desire for revenge, fantasizing about getting back at the person, who hurt you, constant rehashing the situation, reliving the event over and over again in your mind. You see this a lot with people who ruminate. That's just basically recycling the pain over and over again. And the problem with resentment is it keeps you stuck in the past, unable to fully experience the present moment. And that's where your value system is, where you can be free and neutralize that anxiety. And it also consumes your emotional health and your energy, affecting your well-being, distorting your ability to form trusting relationships. Resentment is like holding a hot piece of coal, expecting the other person to get burned, but you really get burned. In the end, you end up being the one who suffers. Let me switch arms, man. These tripods are heavy. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean dismissing what happens. It means prioritizing your peace. Your peace has to be a value. How could this impact your interpretation? Well, how you interpret a situation directly influences your ability to forgive. Interpreting or interpretation is the lens through which you see the event and the person that's involved in the situation. Two key points that you need to consider. There's a fixed mindset interpretation of forgiveness. They did this on purpose, right? They injured me on purpose. They hurt me on purpose. I'll never get past this. I'll never be able to overcome or get over this situation. And then you have a growth mindset interpretation. Well, maybe they acted from their own pain or limited self-awareness. People can change with time and effort. That's a growth mindset. I can choose how I respond to this and grow from this experience. Holding on to a fixed mindset keeps you trapped in the hurt. Shifting to a growth mindset empowers you to see the situation differently and to move forward. Practicing reframing your interpretation instead of asking, why did they do this to me? Ask, what can I learn from this and how can I heal? Right? Really shifting your interpretation. Interpretation is everything. It's the bridge between suffering and well-being. So really being able to look at your interpretation. Is this interpretation working for me? Out here in Ladera Ranch, in my own personal life, with my marriage, my wife had to forgive me for a lot. We weren't perfect. Meeting each other. I'm from Detroit. She's Chinese. I'm going to do a video where you guys can meet her. 2 different belief systems, 2 different backgrounds. But if holding on to resentment, it would have hurt the 2 of us, more than actually helping the relationship. And changing our interpretation of the hurtful event, really was a big key to unlocking our ability to forgive each other. So what I want you guys to do from this video is to identify one person, including yourself, that you need to forgive. Write down one reason why you're choosing forgiveness over resentment. Sometimes you got to have that comparison factor. Forgiveness doesn't mean erasing the past, but it frees you to reshape your future. Right? Randy Wineglass, LMFT in California and Florida. I appreciate you guys working with me and rocking with me. All my subscribers can take a walk. We got some time. Forgiveness. Switch the mic up a little bit. The video that I did yesterday, I realized after about 6 minutes of doing edits that the mic cut off. So I had like 6 extra minutes of footage that where I'm just, I was so upset, guys. I was so upset at myself. Man, you stupid, Randy. You couldn't tell you didn't have the mic was off. You didn't charge the mic, man. I love this new stand. It's so firm and sturdy. It's called Todi, T-O-D-I. I got it from Amazon. I want to say like 15, 16 bucks. I saw my barber with it. I was like, man, I got to get one of those. My wife probably tired of me ordering stuff from Amazon, baby. I'm sorry. I saw him with it. I needed something more sturdy. I know you're watching this. Please forgive me. We talk about forgiveness today. Yeah, out here at the park. It's our daughter's school over here. How nice is that? Green things, right? See that? I'm giving y'all guys a little taste of biophilia. Remember we talked about that innate human, desire to want to connect with nature, right? Reduce anxiety. For you guys who got anxiety, watch my channel. I'm gonna keep you guys in some green things. Got the nice nature. It's a beautiful day today. Take a little walk. I was waiting for my Amazon driver to come and I felt so good. I was like, man, my driver's name is Jesus. I looked at his name, it popped up. I was like, man, this is gonna be a great video today. I got Jesus delivering my tripod, man. We're gonna do a beautiful video. Look at the weather. Ain't that something? Yeah, man. So forgiveness. You gotta forgive yourself. You gotta forgive yourself before you can forgive other people. We can't give to others what we haven't gave to ourselves. I'm looking to make sure the mic's still recording. I don't want to be sitting here with you guys. It ain't nothing going on. I have to forgive myself, guys. I was really mad at myself. Sometimes as military men, we take pride in doing things right the first time. So when we realize we made a mistake, sometimes we could be really hard on ourselves, but we got to forgive ourselves. We ain't perfect. I had to tell myself, like, man, this is Randy. This is a learning curve. You ain't no YouTube expert. You just just getting started, man. Be okay, be chill. You know, you can learn. Let me switch hands. This tripod heavy. I'll put a little description in here in case y'all guys want a nice tripod. It's just a little heavy, but it's good because it's sturdy. Hope I'm not breathing too hard in the mic. I was listening to my video yesterday that I posted. I'm like, man, I'm getting old. I wasn't running or nothing. I was just walking, guys. I'm breathing like I was running up the stairs like Rocky or something. That's why I got it out here. I hope it comes through clear. But yeah, just want you guys to kind of get to know me a little bit. My subscriber count has been shooting through the roof. There's a lot of kids over there playing, so I don't want to go interrupt them. I'm going to give you guys a green. Yeah, my subscriber count was just shooting through the roof, man. I think I'll be at 200. You know, the goal is to, you know, reach monetization. Excuse me, I had a little burp there. But yeah, the goal is, you know, to reach monetization. And, you know, but really, that's not the only goal for me. The goal is to really touch men mentally and spiritually and inspire them to really, you know, explore opening up to other brothers or whatever your race is. You know, we are brothers. You know, I know sometimes when we say that, first thing that comes to people's mind is black folks, but, you know, to all of us, it's just kind of open up to each other and to heal. You know, we're going to need to work on healing together as a community, as men. You know, we're all struggling and going through relationship challenges. I can't tell you, man, a lot of the stuff I'm dealing with in my relationships from time to time is stuff my friends in St. Louis are dealing with, or friends in, you know, Hawaii, or friends in Detroit, or people all over the world. We all in this together, man. Let's see if I can sit. We're going to go up here and sit down. I usually do shorter videos. This won't be too long. I know some people don't really got really long attention spans, right? My shorts are doing really good. And it's probably because my longs are doing good too, but it's probably because people got short attention spans. They're not trying to sit around watching no. Depends on what you're talking about and how good the content is. But, you know, sometimes it's hard to stick around for really, really long videos. But yeah, man, I really appreciate you guys supporting me and subscribing to my channel. I did not expect this much of success. You know, I'm still building it up. So I ain't saying I made it, you know, to the promised land right away. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but really thankful for all my subscribers, everybody who took the time out to watch my videos and support me in the comments and give me ideas and feedback. Really, really thankful. Really appreciate you guys. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and close. Randy Wineglass, LMFT in California and Florida. Hope you don't hear me breathing too hard on you guys like last time. Really apologize for that, but any video ideas, anything, topics, you know, suggestions, let me know. I'll be kind of alternating between being outdoors and being inside, you know, kind of giving you guys a little bit of me, okay? Have a great day. Thank you again for subscribing and all your support. I'm very thankful. I'll be putting out another video. I have a wedding to go to for one of my best friends from Detroit. So I'll give you guys, you know, an opportunity to meet my wife and my kids and, you know, some of the motivation and inspiration and values that drive my work and why I do this, all right? So you guys have a great day. Randy Wineglass, LMFT in California and Florida, that are green. Get outside and live along with your values and forgive yourself and love yourself. Peace.